The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
Aloha! Welcome to this episode of Polymer Play with me, Barbara Hanson. Today we're going to be making a black and white hibiscus, black, white, and gray. And this can be done in any colors, but I'm going to show you in this one today what we can do with it. All right, so I've sheeted out my white, my silver, and my black. I used Kato clay. And when I'm building the petal, I'm going to start on the very inside, which is that silvery gray color. So I'm going to cut my edge and roll a little tube. Now, it's interesting because when you build the flower petal, you build it round, you pull it down round, and then you make it petal shaped. If you try and build it petal shaped and pull it down petal shaped, it's a lot more difficult and not necessary. Okay, see this funky edge here? I'm going to clean that off. Ooh, this is nice and soft. Sometimes when the clays are really crumbly and hard, they have a clay plasticizer that you can put in with the clay, and it kind of rejuvenates it because over time the plasticizer leaks out. Okay, so there, I've got my center. Now I'm going to clean up the edges of my white. So I started experimenting with this new style petal. I'm really excited to share this flower with you. Okay. Now, I use one thick sheet, but you can use multiple thin sheets. And you can make it smaller or you can make it bigger. Okay. Let's see. When I wrap this, I'm not going to go all the way around. I'm just going to go, let's see, flip it over. Looks like a cool hairdo. Just kidding. Oh, my humor. Cut down the side. So with this concept for a flower, you can do so many things. You can have a nice rainbow petal, kind of like the top one I have here. It's like that. Just has a few colors, and I kept layering thick pieces over it. Or you could try something like we're going to do today. I'm going to cut into it, and I'm going to insert black sheets to give it, see all these lines that are inside here? And the cut and insert is great for a lot of different things that you do. I use it with petroglyphs. Oh, no, okay. Teaching moment. See how crooked that is? That's okay, just push it back together. It was good on one side, not on the other. Thank God I flipped it around. So I'm going to come back through again, try and straighten it up. And, oh man, not that very good today here with this one. Sometimes when the clay is really soft, it doesn't let you do exactly what you want to. But you remember my saying, you control your clay, don't let your clay control you. Okay, I'm going to cut an end off here and cut this piece the same length, taper. I'm going to insert it in here. Okay, close it up. Make sure you got it on both sides. Close her back up. Slice right down from the top. I want to get rid of this because I'm going to keep flipping it back and forth, and if I did this, it's going to just fold over and you won't be able to see your cane. So, and this way you can reuse the black. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this process. I'm going to cut in this way, and you know, they're not really exact. Flowers aren't really exact. I'm cutting all the way into the gray on these first few slices. And then I'm gonna kind of taper it back a bit. So go into the gray, flip it over, make sure it's in on both sides. Slice down the outside and any excess off the top and the bottom. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna slice on this side now. Now, I wanted the petal to get kind of a frilly look. So I'm going to go back and add some kind of bumpy things on the top to give it more dimension. Okay. It's all the way in. Again, we're looking at that. Ooh. Straight down. That didn't sit right because it had that bump there. Okay, get rid of that. Make sure you keep these closed up. Now they're closed. Okay, we've got 3. We're going to do a few more. I'm going to cut one more length of this. Actually, use this one first. Now this time I'm going to cut into the gray, but not as far. I'm just going to barely hit it. These. Now you can do as many, as few, you can do none. Totally up to you. That's the cool thing about it is everybody's roll is their own and you can do whatever you want. I mean, you could do so many. Or you could do different colors in there too. Or could you imagine if this had red going through it? That'd be pretty cool. I think it's like every time I'm done making something, I think, oh, next time I know what I'm going to try. I think that's one of the reasons why I love polymer clay so much, because the possibilities are endless. More time, you know, just the more intricate, the more time. Okay, I'm going to do a little one over here. See that, open it up. I'm not really worried about the white on here because it's going on white, so that doesn't really matter. Wow, you could do a really cool like sun kind of a thing with this. Have the rays going out. That'd be cool. I think it's fun when you're just out cruising and you look at things and you just kind of stop and take a moment and break down. How could I put that into a log? That's how my brain works. I get excited when I think of things like that. Okay, this is our last one of these. And then we're going to take the white and roll some up. Actually, it's easier to roll in my area. I'm going to roll a log long and I'm going to half it and kind of put them going down these to give it kind of like a wobbly edge like a hibiscus has. The hibiscus flowers aren't super smooth or on the edge like a plumeria. They're more frilly. So I'm going for the frilly look. Frilly look. Say that 5 times. Okay. So I want to cut the length. And I'm going to do them several different thicknesses. They're not all the same. This is the one time when you can roll. Just not when you're taking down complicated roll. Although when you're rolling like that, sometimes you can feel the clay go psh, and then you have to stop and push it back together. Okay. And we'll take some of these and cut them down the middle. And I'm going to go back and lay them on top in between these the black lines. This clay is so soft, it's kind of hard to cut. Okay, so this one here. Okay, see how that goes? And do this one here. And this needs a bigger one. This one will fit here. And so this one, I need this bigger piece. So I'm just going to take the bottom off of this. Like that. And then I'm going to just kind of make it a little wider. Again, this is what it's going to do, is it's going to give it this appearance. Okay, a couple more of these little guys. And let's see, last one. Then I'm going to put a sheet over it because see, I can do the white on white staggered like that, but I want to have a pure sheet of black going over it so that it houses it all together without making it look funky. Okay, so I think, okay, look at that side and this side. Okay, I think I'm ready for a black sheet. And look, I have one. Let's cut it the length. I've seen those really awesome hibiscus that are like lavender and fuchsia and all those crazy colors. That'd be really fun to do. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going back. You can see I'm trying to put indentations in between where the black goes down. Because if I don't do that, the white is just going to go bleh. We don't want that. We want to have the definition. We built it. We want to show what we built. Okay, we're back in. Cut that. So to keep that definition, see how they're bumpy like that? We need to fill all these spaces. Okay, so I'm going to roll up some black and do what we did before with the white ones, but now we're going to go in between. And because these white bumps are all kind of different sizes, we're going to need different sizes in between. Whoop. I didn't know my own strength. Just kidding. Okay. So with this, just kind of go back through in there, pinch it off. This is a bigger one, so I'm going to take it on the big, pinch it off. Let's see, that's another big one. Oh, okay, teaching moment. See how much this is sticking out? What I'm going to do is go back and shave the top of it off. And then actually I could take that and flip it over here. Yay, that was easy. So it looks like I have one more spot that needs it. And then we can pull it down. Now, if you make them much bigger than this, they need to sit a little bit longer before you pull them down. There we go. All right. Okay, we've got that. I think that looks pretty awesome. Okay. Make sure your table's clean. You are using black, so you want to look at your hands. They're not bad. I'm working with the black now, so I'm going to take this. I'm getting all those pushed in there. And then it's a matter of the slow squeeze and the pull. Remember, we don't want to roll it, because if we roll it, this line won't stay straight. So it's a matter of slowly squeezing it and pulling it. And it's funny, when it gets to a certain temperature, it just comes down so nicely. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that you feel. See, and it's also like you're getting your arm workout. It's a 2-for-1. Okay, see, I'm keeping that line as straight as I can. Okay, now it's starting to get funky on the end, and I like to be able to see what is going on. Oh, it's this guy. I think we have a UPS delivery. Okay, see how it's coming? Ah, I love it. Okay, now this side is funky. It just means I haven't cut in far enough, but I know that the pattern's there. So I'm going to keep squeezing and pulling because I need to get it. I need to pull it down so I have 5 petals, and then I'll put it back together. Oh, see, I hit the sweet spot that just helps it move. Now let me tell you, I looked like I just totally woman handled that, but if you pull it and it's not ready, the thing will just pop. So don't get that aggressive unless you feel like it's moving. Wow, this would be a cool shell. Okay. That's the thing. Everything is exciting when you're working with clay. Okay, I want to take, this one's not quite in yet. You can see right here how this line doesn't go all the way through. So I want to cut off a little bit more. There we go. Now I can see each one of the lines that I did. All right, I like this length. So some people use rulers. I use my fingers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to cut it into 5 lengths. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now you can kind of see what it's going to be looking like when it comes together. We still have to build our pistil and stamen too. Okay, so now we're going to petal shape them. And this, the most important thing when you're doing your petals is not to overwork them. Actually, there's 2 things. And to do them all the same. So there's no right or wrong way. Some people like their petals more pillowy. Some make them really narrow. The narrower they are, the more space that you have to fill in back here. Nothing's right or wrong. It's just what it is. Okay. Woo! Look at it come together. Yay. Okay, and this one. So something so exciting when you see it like start to come together. I still get excited. I look back and think, gosh, if this was originally done in glass thousands of years ago, can you imagine? I mean, they didn't have the tools we have today. Everything, well, I guess no one showed me anything either, but I did see that. These are coming out really nice. I actually put a little extra plasticizer in this today, so it will come down quicker. Okay. All right, so we've got our petals. Flip them over, make sure we're looking good. Okay, I know that I'm going to have a little gap in here. I'm going to take some black and pull that, just a thin little tube of that center, clean end, open it up, wedge it all the way in, make sure it's all the way down. Oops, it is not. Okay. Slice the top. Okay, pistil and stamen. We've got, let's see here. Okay, then I'm going to put sheets of black on either side. Let's see, go this way. It's kind of like a sandwich. flip over rule. Okay. So we've got this. Since this is going in, I want to taper these guys. Let's see what the easiest way is. Probably straight down. Sometimes I do it straight down and sometimes I do it on the table, and I'm not sure how to tell you which way to, I don't know. I don't always do it the same way, just whatever I think needs to be done. And then I can go along, oops, don't like that. I can go along and pinch the top to give it a little extra. And then wedge it in here. Okay, I'm not sure how long I want it yet, but I'll figure that out. Then I took a tube of white and I wrapped a sheet of black around it. And I'm going to pull this down and then stack them back together to make this piece up here. Yay! All right, so I did, you can do as many of these as you want to do. I'm going to do 5. 1, 2, 4 and 5. Okay. And I'm gonna take the littlest ones and put them on the top. Come down like that. Got 5. Squish them together. Okay. Needs to be a little longer. Now, when you see a little thing like this, when your rolls crack when you're pulling them down, I know I'm going to be putting black on the outside, so I could leave it, or I could just take a little tiny, if I was going into another color, I would definitely do this. I could take a tiny little piece of black, just kind of put it on there. That's the one thing that's easier with clay than glass. Okay. So I'm going to cut both sides and then see if I need it a little bit longer. Okay, now with this, I think this is a little bit long, so I'm going to cut. You want to make sure that you have your blade down. Okay, and this is going to go here. All right, you guys, we're seeing it come together. So now we want to fill it in. I'm going to start with the perimeter ones. So we're cutting. Now, in the old days, I used to just go through and form 5 triangles. You know, make a long log and then pinch them like a teepee. But as I get older, and if you want to save your fingers, this is kind of, ooh, okay, that's what we're talking about, the crack. Since it's one color, if you hold it for a second, the warmth of your hands does wonders. Okay. So, actually, let's see. What I normally do with this is I would take this and I would cut it into 4. So at least you only have to make 1 more. And when you insert them in here, if it's too big, you can pull it up a little bit and slice it off. And you're going to keep going, and you're going to do each of these and inside here, and then make it, it'll be a little bit more, it'll be round, but there'll be extra black up in here. That's going to take a while, so I'm going to skip ahead. Once we have this roll, so here you can see when I was finished, I wedged my triangles in here. I wedged triangles here, and then I filled in this spot too. And I made sure that I had extra on the top so that when you pull it down, your top is not bleeding into the edge. And here I took it down smaller and smaller and smaller yet. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what I did with some of these. I've made some really cool earrings that are going to go like this. It can just be one component too. I think that there's a flower here, it's different, but you get the idea of how that works. Just one of the pieces within. I can also pull this smaller and make a little earring like such. I can make beads. There's lots of things. And that's the jewelry aspect. But remember, once you have an assortment of different things, it could just be one little flower that's going across a clock. I could use a bunch of them and create a surface on something. This one I did on a wood heart. I used that engine block epoxy. That works well for that. It can also just be one little tidbit in a whole mosaic piece. And my favorite thing to do of all, I love doing my birds. So this one you can see I used a bunch of different black and white and brown patterns, and I shaped them in different things like the elongated triangle, or I used them round. So anyhow, you can see all the different things you can do. Most important when you're making this is you want to use contrasting colors, so when you pull it down you can still see it. All right, can't wait to see what you make. Aloha!